Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your match preview for Graham Potter, team number 1 versus Graham Potter, team number 2. Graham Potter's old club, Brighton, versus Graham Potter's new club, Chelsea Football Club. And this is going to be quite a fixture. Why? Because a lot of people have an idea on how Chelsea should set up, what they're expecting from Brighton, etc. But for Graham Potter, he's just left that place, and tactically, in terms of them, in terms of us, the quality we have, the quality they have, back at the Amex Stadium, so it's going to be at Brighton. There's so many factors here for Graham Potter himself to take into consideration, and is it going to fall as an advantage for us, or is it going to fall as an advantage for Brighton? I've got a whole theory as to what I think we should do when it comes to the starting 11. I will get to that later on, but this is going to be a very interesting fixture, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, before we get into the preview itself, I want to share a bit of news, right? Chelsea news, and it's around one player. And Ben Jacobs has given us the latest, and I've got a couple of things to say on it. So, check this out. This is from Ben Jacobs just earlier on this afternoon. Dynamo Moscow midfielder Arsen Zakarian tells Common Show, right now I have Chelsea and I want to go to Chelsea. I know other clubs are interested in me. I am proud of that, but I want to go to Chelsea. He adds that over the summer he was stressed because I wanted this transfer. Chelsea haven't given up on Zakarian and are prepared to pay his release clause, but FIFA and UEFA rules, due to the war in Ukraine, prevent them from completing the signing. They can't pay a fee to a Russian club currently, and getting a work permit is problematic too. No progress ahead of January has been made yet, and the Football Federation of Armenia denies Zakarian is trying to change his citizenship to help facilitate a deal. CFC are still exploring options, but there is currently no easy or viable solution to complete this transfer. I find this absolutely ridiculous in every sense of the word. Every sense in the word. Someone please explain to me, right? This transfer is wanted by Chelsea Football Club. It's wanted by Zakarian. It's wanted by his club, Dynamo Moscow. They're happy for him to go. They're happy for a deal to be done. Everything is ready by all parties to get this done. But we can't do a deal because they're Russian. What has Zakarian done to Ukraine? Can I just... why does this need to get involved? I'm not saying this just because it's Chelsea that want a player. I don't understand how anything football related will need to be affected because of what's going on politically. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Just get the deal done. Keep your eyes on it. Make sure you know where that money's going if you really want to, control things, which even then, to be honest, realistically, is it any of their business? Dynamo Moscow are still functioning as a football club. Chelsea want a player. He wants to move. Why does it need to not happen because FIFA and UEFA have blocked it because they're a Russian club? It's stupid. I mean, you probably go to every single player in that Russian team, in Dynamo Moscow, member of staff, whatever, and all of them will be probably against war. It's crazy how this is come to this. But personally, just let Zakarian move. Honestly, just let him move. It's bonkers. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I like the attitude of Zakarian. He wants this. He's screaming for it. He wants to play for Chelsea. He's got other offers on the table. He's saying, no, I want Chelsea. Absolutely unreal. So, yeah. If that is how it is, I find it stupid. Zakarian, don't worry, mate. Hang in there. We will get you to Chelsea. We've dealt with governments not too far ago. Look what happened. Don't worry. We'll get away. We'll find a way. Even if we need to get the laundry basket back out. It's been a long time since we got that laundry basket back out. It's sat at Stamford Bridge somewhere. Last person that went into it was Jose Mourinho all those years ago. Maybe we'll have to get Zakarian through there then. We'll get him through customs that way. How does that sound? Anyway, let's get into the preview. Brighton versus Chelsea. This is not going to be an easy game. Just off the off, this is not going to be an easy game. Now, there's been two tells to Brighton. Brighton have a lot of quality in their team. But there's been two sides to a story for them. There's been the Graham Potter side of their season, and there's been the non-Graham Potter side of their season. When they had Graham Potter at Brighton, they started the season off absolutely incredibly, right? And then the moment he left, Well, they haven't won a game yet, I don't think. If we go through their fixtures and what they've actually done, this is it. They've lost 3-1 to Man City lately, drew to Nottingham Forest, lost to Brentford, lost to Tottenham, drew to Liverpool. Games before that was postponed during the Queen's death. Then, September, they beat Leicester 5-2. That was the last time we got something good out of Brighton. But do not, and I stress, do not let that deceive you. Do not let that deceive you. Brighton have top players. They have a very good setup. In those games where they lost, they have actually been playing really well. Sometimes they've been unlucky. An example would be that Brentford game. Brighton should have won that. I'm baffled how Brighton did not win that game. Shocking. Brentford literally 2 opportunities, 2 goals, boom, Bob's your uncle, thank you very much. And at the end of the day, that is all that matters. This is why I make the point. I don't care really in terms of how we play. I don't care how glamorous we look. I want us to win. Brentford done that on the day. Brighton, though, play really good football. They've got a good setup. They've got some quality lads who are going to be playing tomorrow, who are on form. And I feel like eventually they're going to get their season going. But tomorrow's a big day. Why? Because they are playing against their old manager who just left. And for Chelsea, this is important because Graham Potter knows Brighton inside out. But they also know Graham Potter inside out. I still feel that Chelsea will have the advantage, though. Why? Because Graham Potter knows them and Graham Potter knows us. Their gaffer doesn't really know us. He can only know us from videotapes. And I say videotapes like I am born in the 90s. So, I was there when videotapes were the big thing. But only through video, only through, watching footage, only through data, only through those sort of things, knowing the players from afar. Graham Potter has had some time with us. He knows those lads. He can identify what's changed because, let's be honest, Graham Potter used to give them instructions, used to tell them to do certain things. Him as a manager watching his Brighton team, his old Brighton team, now he'd be able to know what's different instantly compared to what he used to tell them. He'd notice the minuscule details that we won't see because we don't know. So this is where I feel Graham Potter will hold the advantage. I just hope that he executes everything to a T. That's not to say Brighton don't stand a chance. Brighton do stand a chance by changing the way that they play. Maybe they execute something new on the day that we're not set up for. Maybe they have some individuality that are stronger than us man to man. There's circumstances. Their atmosphere is going to be absolutely up for it. I feel like they want to be able to prove something against Graham Potter. It's an occasion for them. So it's not going to be an easy game, and we have to win. Why? Because we dropped points lately. In our last couple of games, we dropped points. As far as I'm concerned, we dropped points. Brentford should have won. United should have won. Well, I say should have won. We didn't deserve to win, but I'm saying we didn't play as we should have done. Let's be honest. If we did, I think we would have won. We can't be dropping points because if not, we would have been higher up on the table by now. We would have definitely bypassed Tottenham by now, that's for sure. We'd be probably on par with Manchester City, just off Arsenal. And why I stress is important because our next game, Arsenal. They can't win that. And this is the thing, we have to win tomorrow, and that's because of Arsenal. If we don't get a result against Arsenal, that's going to sting. Because they're top of the table, they're loving life, they've been winning games, they can't stop. PSV exposed their second team a little bit, but anyway, Arsenal are loving life. We got to bring them back down to earth and let them know the reality, yeah? Let's start bringing back the Arsenal that we've known for the last 10, 15 years, not this new Arsenal that are looking like they're going to start replicating the Invincibles. I'm not liking it, even though they've lost one game already. But in terms of going on for a title charge, this is new. This is new. I ain't seen it in years. So we have to beat Brighton. Now for tomorrow, it's looking like the same players are going to be available that were available against Salzburg. Thiago Silva did train, so it's looking like he's going to be available. I'm very happy for that because we now have some flexibility in terms of formation, who's playing in defence, system. Because if Thiago Silva's not there, Koulibaly's already out. He's been ruled out. Fofana, we already know is injured. Who's going to be playing in defence probably means that we have to go to a back four because we cannot facilitate a back three. Unless if we went with Aspi, Chalobah and Cucurella, which then means that Chilwell and Loftus-Cheek will have to play as wing-backs, and we don't have any other option apart from that. So it'd be straining us too much, I think, which would mean that we would have to play a back four, which would set up Brighton a little bit easier when they know what to expect. We have to give them a sense of unpredictability. And this is where I feel, because we have the players that we have available, we have some flexibility. So in terms of that starting 11, who should we go for? Who should start tomorrow? let me give you what I think is going to happen. Here's the starting 11. Now, normally I'd come on and I'd give you an 11. Not today. Not today. Or, well, maybe. We'll see if I'm going to treat you guys. But I'm going to start off with something that I think is very, very important. I normally come on and I give you the 11 that I would want. I don't feel like for this fixture, I'm in a capacity to do that because I completely trust Graham Potter for tomorrow. And that's why on the face of today's pitch, I have Graham Potter. There he is. My lineup is this geezer, Graham Potter. It's all up to him. Why? Because he knows Brighton better than any of us. He's just left them. He knows them personally. He knows exactly who to deploy against them. He knows them and he knows us. I feel like he would be able to execute something perfect to set up against Brighton tomorrow. So I'm not going to come on and be like, we should play this guy, we should play that guy, we should play this guy. For tomorrow, I know the man with the most knowledge is him. That's it. For tomorrow, it's him. Against other opponents, we can all have an opinion because we're kind of all on the same level playing field, right? But tomorrow, we're going to the Amex. We're going to a team that he just left. It was his team. So I have full trust in whatever 11 he selects tomorrow, I'm going to run along with it. That is how I see it. And I'm pretty confident for tomorrow based on how we're going to set up. Now, I'm not going to leave you for the preview's sake without a lineup. I'm going to tell you what I think Graham Potter is going to do. It's not my opinion. I'm going to tell you what I think he's going to deploy. Me trying to be in his shoes because it's Brighton. I'll give you what I think. So let's get rid of Graham. Cheers, Graham. Thank you for your little cameo. In goal, obviously, I think it's going to be Kepa. I do think we're going to a back three, not a back four. So I'm going to go with Thiago Silva starts because he's fit. Chalobah on his left, and I think on his right, Azpilicueta. Experience and for the setup and where I think we're going to be matching Brighton for formation at least, I feel like there's some flexibility in two areas by Azpi being on the pitch. So I feel like this is what he's going to go to. I don't think he's going to go Cucurella at left centre-back. I think he's going to realise Cucurella is going to be more effective at wing-back, similarly to how he was used at Brighton. And this is where I feel like it's going to be Cucurella against his old teammate on the right-hand side. So Cucurella, left wing-back. Right wing-back, the only man that I feel fit is going to be put there, Loftus-Cheek. And this is going to support the two in the pivot that I think Graham Potter will go for. And I think we saw a glimpse of that against Salzburg. Or the game before. Where was the game that Kovacic came on? Anyway, that game was the game before, actually. Man United, Kovacic came on, yes. So I feel like this is where we're going to see something similar. You're probably asking, what? Let me enlighten you. So, in the double pivot, Kovacic and, well, the controversial one at the moment, Jorginho. I feel like this, if you look at it, it's a back three. You have Cucurella, left wing back, Loftus-Cheek, right wing back. The two in the pivot, Jorginho, Kovacic. If Loftus-Cheek turns inverted and comes in, and that back line shifts across, Azpi shifts to a right back, you have the two that shift over as the two centre-backs. Cucurella drops deep. What do you get? You get a back four and you have a three of Jorginho, Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek. And I feel like in times during the game, we can shift between the two. We can shift by Loftus-Cheek inverting, combining with the other two midfielders to make a midfield three, which is good for Jorginho because now he has support. I feel like Graham Potter done this against Manchester United and it helped. And I think tomorrow it's a case where we can use that again. Azpilicueta can shift as right centre-back to right back. Nothing more. Don't bomb forward. Stay there. And Cucurella can compensate as left wing back and at times when defending just turn into a traditional left back. If everyone is shifting over or if we're attacking, he can bomb forward and we can even shift it across. So I feel like this is where we have flexibility. That means, though, because if we do go with this, we have to go with a front three. And the front three, I think, will be a 2 and a 1. So the 2, personally, I think he's going to go with Sterling and Mason Mount. Personally, I would go with Pulisic and Mount. I wouldn't go with Sterling, although I can see why Sterling would play tomorrow, but Sterling's not been on it. I hope he plays well. Some would even advocate for Kai Havertz because he got a goal and he done well against Salzburg. So does he play tomorrow? But who you dropping? It's going to be one of them. And up front, I think is going to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And some would advocate for Broja. Personally, I would play Aubameyang for 60 minutes, see how he gets on. If he does not deliver, take him off, and for the last half an hour, bring on Broja. Or even bring on Broja alongside him if we really need to go all attacking, if we're losing or something crazy is happening. So personally, that is what I think Graham Potter's going to do. That's my prediction on what he will deploy. But we'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, my starting 11 is trust Graham Potter. That's my starting 11. And for my score prediction, I am going to go with a narrow Chelsea win. It's going to be tough. I'm going Brighton 1, so I think they will score. Chelsea 2. And then we get 3 points. Graham Potter says, thank you very much. And we leave the Amex and come back to London up the M23. So very much looking forward to that. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. What I do want to say and what I want to gauge is Brighton supporters. If there is a Brighton fan watching, I'm sure there's 1 or 2 of you. Let me know. How do you think your lot are going to receive Graham Potter tomorrow? I hope there's respect. I hope there's a massive ovation for him. I hope there's a lot of love. It's similar to when we get our managers come back sometimes. Depends who it is and who it's with. But, you know, I hope there's a lot of appreciation for what Graham Potter did. I hope he gets a big welcome. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. So let me know down below. And for the rest of you, all you Chelsea lot, let me know what prediction you have, what lineup you have in your mind. How do you think we're going to run this game? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow after the game is all said and done. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification button to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow, people. In a bit. See you then. Take care. And peace.